Right, those of you who've been up early are very much aware that the Royal Bank of Australia had their meeting today, and I suppose it's good news or bad news. They decided everyone thought they were going to adjust their tapering, which they did, or didn't adjust it. They agreed to go from 5 billion to 4 billion in November, but everyone thought they might delay it until obviously November, December, because obviously the majority of Australia have been aware of it, and I've just been teaching a lad there are in lockdown or in lockdown for another couple of days as such. So uh, we'll go in that to what's going on. Obviously, those who were in yesterday, the easy trade in theory for the day yesterday was on the opening on both FTSE and Eurostox, not necessarily the DAX. The DAX was quite painful, and obviously they marched them. As I said, the old Grand Old Duke of York. Those who have got the email, they marched them at the top of the hill on the DAX, and marched them down again, and marched them back up again. And also saying Wall Street, I do think Wall Street at 2:30 for an hour or so was almost untradeable and not worth trading. And in the summer markets, we have to bear that in mind. I sort of repeat that again, really, in that just because on the chart it looks busy on candles and everything else, in reality, and that's why we try and do it in real time. Uh, it was at some stages almost impossible to trade Wall Street at certain times today, and I think a lot of people agreed to that and said so on the discussion. So don't be upset. I think I'm not trading this because it's too volatile. In fact, it wasn't volatile. It was a crock of shite. Right, going back to the things today. Uh, if you've done your calendar, I'm going to write a calendar. I'm going to write 5 or 6 things down that were worth trading for. And today is the leanest of the week. Obviously, we spoke earlier in the week of obviously ADP tomorrow, ISM non-manufacturing tomorrow, Bank of England Thursday, and obviously weekly jobless and big non-farm payroll on Friday. But today we have 3 things out today. 10 o'clock with PPI. Obviously, people realise that it is the inflationary, and obviously with a slight concern, obviously on retail sales. Yesterday, what did we say they were? Uh, Due 2% and are above 4% yesterday in Germany. So obviously the PPI, producer price index, is inflationary, and we want to try and keep that in and around 2% of inflation, which Christian Lagarde said was happy. 3 o'clock factory orders, not too busy. However, 3 o'clock durable goods, that'd be the one to look at 3 o'clock rather than factory orders. Why? Durable goods are the expensive goods that you take out. And obviously, everyone's talking about the inflation word again, which was interesting yesterday on the PMIs in America and ISM. All the figures coming out. Is that a good figure? Is that a bad figure? Isn't it an inflation figure? Does that mean tapering, or does that mean more QE? Right. As we've got a few Aussies in there, Chris and Tyler, RBI Australia sticks to the taper even as the economy starts to contract. They're going to go from uh, Aussie billion to 4 Aussie billion on the tapering. They maintain 0.1% rates. And obviously, the trade of the morning, I wonder if you two got on it. The Aussie jumped. So, as you were there, I actually got up for that only because you two in Australia. And I wish I stayed in bed, I think.
I got it.
How much do you take out of it?
Hold on. I'll just have a look. I can't remember.
More than your 10
I
ticks,
got,
hopefully.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
good.
got in twice.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold. Where is positions history? Yeah, I got 13 ticks, and then I got 7.
Was there any more to take out of it, or was that?
Nah, it was a bit choppy.
Yeah. So, and again, that sort of summed up the market. When someone trades it real time, I was watching it and looking at the indices really. But I said, when you look at it real time, and people say, oh, the Aussie rallied a bit. You ask people in real time what they saw, and as Chris said, it was choppy. And that was all that was there. The other things on the news quickly. Fed's wallet came out last night, and obviously you could say somewhat a hawk, but he wasn't noticed a hawk. He sees a reduction in QE possibly starting in October, which is completely opposite to what Mr. Powell said last week, because he was looking at it either in December or January. Germany warships. head for China, sees amongst tension in Beijing. That's the news out today, which you thought may bring a bit of a selling in the DAX or even the euro, but we haven't seen it yet. And I'm not sure whether that's just a rumored mill that comes out for a story. It's very boring. The Chinese traders expect the POC moving closer to another round of QE, which obviously will affect the markets. But we probably saw that massively on the PBOC China funding people last week. Tokyo inflation unexpectedly rose 0.1% in Japan overnight. And that's the first time in over a year Japan has admitted any form of inflation. Anyone knows about Japan, they've obviously been in deflation for a few decades. And obviously, Jerry and the bond market boys, this could be a band really, Jerry and the bond markets. The 10-year yields in July got down to 1.129%, and that's the key level. I think if we get down there, we will expect the markets to react, both forex, obviously, and the bonds, and obviously indices as such. And obviously, with the Bank of England coming up on Thursday and inflation are rallying out of control, if the Bank of England goes over their inflation target, they have to write a letter to Mr. Chancellor Rishi Sunak on why the inflation has overshot. And there's a big article in the FT this morning saying that the Bank of England will have to do that. So therefore, there'll be a big meeting. So bear that in mind. Right, George, what are you looking at?
I'll probably stick to the FTSE.
You're going to stick to the FTSE. How much did you take out of the FTSE yesterday?
Where did I win? I went in at 60 or 61, and I'll come out at 105.
Yeah, I think you took the most out of that. There wasn't a lot more out of that. What's the high of the FTSE? 11 or something?
I think I was kidding myself. I wanted it to go to like 15, 16, and it was just bouncing around too much. So I just took it and just didn't bother trading again.
I think that's the same as Chris said in the Aussie. In these summer markets, how long's a piece of string? And I think come March, April, May, we got more out of the market on the openings. Sadly, in the first week in August, especially today, I think, and where the markets are, it's going to be slim pickings. But we go in the opening, 40 seconds ago, price action. We look at the price action. As Jerry says, sometimes wait to 801. But I think what we're looking at here, just POC, the DAX 15544, hover around there, and also obviously round about, we said yesterday, around about 15,500, we may see some support. I'll be interested to see if we do get below the value low here. I think we'll go through the POC, the value low at the same time on the market orders. But if you see wicks like this at the moment, you won't see me entering the market unless we go through serious levels. And again, above the value here. Yeah. Spike up a bit in the DAX here, but look at these wicks. They're just horrendous. These are just market orders coming in and out. And no trade for me at the moment. DAX, wow. George, straight down to the POC. Straight through. I mean, that was
I've not traded yet.
Well, the DAX in theory, bang on the POC here, and we're battling round here. But how that got up to 75 is beyond me about 36 ago. We're looking at it in and around here. I'll be looking at, I think, to go short just below the POC here. But very, very choppy in the DAX. I wouldn't exactly call that trading, but I suppose you could say we have seen more selling. Let's put it on the 1 minute chart. Some people like it on the 1 minute chart. If you look at the 1 minute chart here, that's horrendous from 8 o'clock. We've had almost a 40 tick range. But to me, we've held the POC here on this candle here, and we'll wait to see. But I haven't traded. I was looking at it to be just around the value low here, which I didn't quite get to. But Untradable there. Anything in your FTSE, George?
FTSE's moved about 8 or 9 points, just up and down constantly. So I've not done nothing.
Well, if you look at that DAX chart, that horrendous minute, I'm on the minute chart here, that's telling you not to trade at the moment. Again, that's why we come in for 8 o'clock. Sometimes it's very clean. And obviously today isn't. Those of you who've been with Jerry with the technicals will tell you how horrendous, again here, even the Euro stocks, very unpleasant, and how choppy the market is. And in theory, I suppose we're looking at the DAX to break through the value lows here. 32.
How you done?
Well, I'm traded. So have you traded the FTSE?
No.
No, I mean, I think the wisdom is in the August summer months, we ask ourselves, do we have to trade? Whereas, as I said, in May and June and early July, we asked, do we buy it or sell it on the opening? Because we do tend to get a movement. You could say here it has been selling in the DAX from about 60, and we're bang on the value low here, and very close.
What happened yesterday that caused the 400 points in Wall Street? Nothing.
I think Mr. Waller later on coming on, he said to expect the tapering.
Oh, right. So the guard doesn't tell that, really?
Well, I'm looking to go short the DAX here if it breaks it with a very tight stop. We're right in the value low. As I said, right down to 15,500. But again, so choppy. So my argument would be, do I actually stick to the Euro stocks? But even here, I mean, the wicks in the Euro stocks are so clean yesterday.
Actually, yeah, Euro stocks was right.
Yeah. But again, if we look at it overall, mainly unchanged. DAX is obviously very close. I'm getting very close to get stopped in to go short. But we go there. Quickly, we go on to here. We've got people on here as such. When it is quiet, there is a very good course here to do from the Chicago Mercantile Exchange that give us Wall Street S&Ps. Those of you want it, ask for it, and I'll send the link over. And the one to do when it's quiet is an introduction to futures. Chris, you've done it. What do you think of it? Is it translated into Australian?
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
How long did it take you to do the futures one?
Yeah, like 20 minutes.
There we are, yeah. So if it takes
There's so many.
if it takes a POM in Australia 20 minutes, it should take most of us about what, 10?
Easy.
Right. Right, gents, we'll leave it there. And I think we're in for a quite choppy day. But currently, I think we're looking at selling rallies. I'm waiting to go short the DAX if it breaks through down here, just below the 30s, where I think the stops will be. All right, have a good day, and we'll catch you later.
Cheers.